Good evening, fam. Twisted Beard, GoodMoFos R5, here with you tonight. Hope everybody's had a lovely day. Hope all is going very well in your world. Our next tutorial is going to be on the brand new hero that was just released today. As opposed to a tutorial, I guess maybe it's a first look with some commentary along with it. And let's jump down to Pentheselia, just released today. So just as an aside, Pentheselia also comes from the Trojan War, Greek mythology. She was the queen of the Amazons, or a group of Amazons, came to the defense of Troy, leading a group of 12 warriors, performed exceedingly well on the battlefield, ultimately met Achilles, was slain by Achilles. Achilles then falls in love with Penthesilea after she falls. One of his comrades kind of jeers at him, jokes at him about it a little bit. Achilles is in no mood, punches him so hard he kills him, and on it goes. So she does, she is, like Hector, a victim of Achilles. Achilles kills them both. And the scene of Achilles killing Penthesilea is a topic of Greek art very prominently in the years that follow. So you see that scene depicted on a lot of vases and reliefs at temples and things like that. So that's who we're looking at right here. It's a continuation of the Troy theme that they started with Hector and with Achilles and with the new Troy castle wall aesthetic and all of that. So I applaud that. I'm into that. I like that. I like when they get themes going and kind of build on them. I think that's fun. However, I think we have seen better Royal exclusive heroes. Just being frank up front at the beginning of the video. Time will tell, and maybe I'll eat my words, but at the glance I've taken at her, I will be saving my tickets at this point. But that said, let's move on. She is an archer hero. She is a ranged archer hero. Before I looked at exactly what she was, obviously she's an archer, but I looked at her skills before I looked at how she's categorized, and I thought when I looked up and saw her categorization that it would be support, but it's actually, she's supposedly the attack hero, and maybe she will turn out to be so, but looking at her skills, she feels more supportish to me, though she will have an attack capacity in her own right. Without getting into her skills specifically, which we'll do here momentarily, if she was, one of the regular heroes, I'd be more excited about her potentially and possibly, and she would feel, I don't know, maybe above average there, or at least containing the possibility of being useful, and maybe bringing some older heroes off the bench, or maybe bringing some other heroes that are newer but haven't had their proper, Legion compatriots introduced yet, and I could be hopeful there. But as a Royal exclusive hero, as in a top tier hero, right there alongside Cyrus and Alexander and Achilles and what's supposed to be the best of the best, Beowulf, I just don't feel that she's at that level. And until I'm proven otherwise, I'm certainly going to be holding back. She feels to me like Hector 2.0. She feels to me like she is, like they're doubling down on Hector almost. Like, I think she's we'll get to this more at the end. I think she is meant to be paired with Hector, but looking at them both individually and looking at them together, and I hope I'm proven wrong, and then I'll start, picking her up. But I don't think that she's strong enough or compatible enough to make Hector top tier, and I don't think Hector is strong enough and compatible enough to make her top tier. So unless there's a third component that's going to really, set those two off, at this point, I don't think, I would chase Achilles, and I would chase Alexander, and I would chase Cyrus before I would chase her, or I would sit on my Royal exclusive tickets and wait for the the next one to come out after her and be in an even better position to get your copies for that one quickly. So, but anyways, enough of that. Let's look at her skills individually now, and we can all, make our own assessments. So, Pentheselia activates the hunting domain, causing all squads on both sides to randomly target one opposing squad with normal attacks. For the first 2 rounds, each enemy squad independently has a 50% chance to enter a disarm state and a 50% chance to enter a silent state each round. Okay, got that? So it's 2-part skill. Let's look at the first part first. Pentheselia activates the hunting domain, causing all squads on both sides to randomly target one opposing squad with normal attacks. So basically what that's doing is increasing the amount of normal attacks on both sides of the table, both you and the enemy. It's going to, if my understanding is correct, convert some of the skill attacks into normal attacks, thus ensuring more normal attacks happen for both sides. So without getting into her ladder skills, it's essentially a wash because both sides are doing the exact same thing. But when you tie in some of her ladder skills, tie in some of, say Hector's skills, potentially, theoretically, what she's doing there in the first part of that first skill will be beneficial, okay? So here's the second part of the first skill. For the first 2 rounds, each enemy squad independently has a 50% chance to enter a disarm state and a 50% chance to enter a silent state each round. So it's going to look at each one of the enemy legions, and it's going to basically flip a coin twice, once for disarm and once for silence. And I don't see anything that prohibits both of those things happening. So, every given enemy legion could get both of those things, they could get none of those things, they could get one of those things. It does happen in the first 2 rounds, which is nice. So, it's going to happen early. It's not as if it's in the mid-battle or late battle, so it's going to be a nice throwing your enemy off balance in the first 2 rounds, the first 2 opening rounds, and that's always all for the good. I would like it better if it went 3 rounds versus 2. 2 is pretty short. 3 would be better. 4 would be much, much better. 4, I'd be getting excited about it. But 2 rounds is, first 2 rounds is okay. And it, does have 2 chances at 50%. So that's a pretty good chance that, at least one of the coin flips is going to happen in your favor. So said, just throwing your enemy off balance a little bit. So, it's a decent skill. It's a 2-parter. When you consider what the first part does with the latter part, it might be more helpful than it appears at this point. But it's certainly not a 10. We just got done looking at Attila, and we're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. We're looking at all 3 of his skills, and he's just a lucky wheel hero. And here we are looking at what's supposed to be the next tier up, and I'm looking at this first skill, and I'm just like, meh. So anyway, go to our 5th skill. Each time our squad performs a normal attack, they gain a 25% chance of fatal blow. stackable, removed upon triggering a fatal blow. So now we're starting to see why it's converting those attacks with the first part of her first skill into regular physical attacks, normal attacks, okay? So each time our squad performs a normal attack, they get a 25% chance of fatal blow. So we're going to be doing more normal attacks than we would be otherwise. We're going to be having an increased chance of doing a fatal blow. That's going to, go up each round. So all our heroes with their normal attacks are going to have a higher chance of doing a fatal blow. If the normal attack does not trigger a fatal blow, there is a 100% chance of an additional combo attack. If the normal attack triggers a fatal blow, Pentheselia gains 1 layer of fate effect, and she immediately deals 120% times fate layers of physical damage to 1 random enemy squad. Okay? And then Pentheselia herself gains double the chance of fatal blow after her normal attacks. So there's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there. But again, from the top, and we'll just look at it in parts one last time here. Each time our squads perform a normal attack, they gain a 25% chance of fatal blow. Stackable, removed upon triggering a fatal blow. So that's just going to increase all your heroes' chances of doing a fatal blow. And again, the first part of the first skill increases normal attacks, increases physical attacks. So you're going to be doing more of those. So there's a higher chance you'll get better results with those more of those that you'll be doing, essentially. If the normal attack does not trigger a fatal blow, there's a 100% chance of an additional combo attack. So if you don't trigger a fatal blow on that physical attack, you're going to trigger an additional combo attack. If the normal attack does trigger a fatal blow, if the normal attack triggers a fatal blow, Pentheselia gains 1 layer of fate effect, and she immediately deals 120% times fate layers of physical damage to 1 random enemy squad. Pentheselia herself gains double the chance of a fatal blow after her normal attacks. So, if she's going to be good, I think this is where she's going to be good, but I think it's going to be inconsistent. And even when it is consistent, it's just not the meanest attack skill I've seen out there. And she's supposed to be that top tier hero. So that's where I'm, my excitement for her wanes. If she was just a normal, regular orange ticket hero, I'd be much more excited about her, but she just doesn't feel Royal Exclusive worthy, okay? So let's assume with this increase of normal attacks, physical attacks, and this increase of fatal blow stuff between her and I think Hector gives a fatal blow buff as well. Say that one 3 times fast. Theoretically, potentially, you're going to be, landing more fatal blows. And when you do that, she's going to get one of these fate layers, they're calling it, okay? And each fate layer, each time you get one, it's going to trigger the attack side of it. And that attack side of it is going to look at the number of layers that you have and then do 120% times that number of layers. So let's say, for the sake of the argument, you've landed 3 fatal blows. The 3rd time you land the fatal blow, she's automatically going to do the fate layer attack, which is going to be 120% times 3, so 360% physical damage to 1 random enemy squad. That's not very much, okay? So let's say you've landed 5 fatal blows, okay? Now it's 5 times 120% physical damage, so that's only 600% damage. We're just looking at Attila, and I think one of his skills was 1800 with none of this contingent stuff, okay? Or not as onerous of contingent stuff, something far easier that happens faster in the match and achieves full potential right away instead of this slow build-up. So let's say you've landed 8 fatal blows, That's not going to happen in round 1. That's not going to happen in round 2. Probably not by round 3. So let's say by round 4, you've landed 8 fatal blows. Well, now it's 8 times 120%. So 160%. So it's just not that exciting of a attack skill, for the level where a royal exclusive hero should be. Okay, that's my take on it, at least. Maybe in practice it'll be crazy, but on paper it just doesn't look like where it needs to be for the level where she is. So, all right, let's look at our last one. When our archer squads perform normal attacks number 5, 10, 15, 20 times, all our squads gain the following effects sequentially. So at the 5th normal attack, you're going to be immune to disarm state. At the 10th normal attack, you're going to deal 30% damage dealt. At the 15th normal attack, minus 30% damage received. At the 20th normal attack damage magnified by 50%. Pentheselia herself gains double the buff effects from this skill. Again, for a royal exclusive hero, I'm just not that into that. There's nothing that happens immediately. First the 5 attacks have to happen, and then you're just immune to disarm state. That's helpful, but it's not like it's crazy good. After 10 normal attacks land, plus 30 damage dealt. Okay, that's nice. But again, it takes time to get there. And, 30% is nice, but it's not going to turn the tide of battle in and of itself. And, that's what a royal exclusive hero, it's just not she's not potent enough to be called that, I don't think, at least by the looks of her. Minus 30% damage received, exact same, analysis as plus 30% damage dealt. It's nice, but it's not going to change the course of the battle in and of itself. And again, we're talking 15 attacks by the time that even kicks in. And then by the time you get to 20 attacks, normal attack damage magnified by 50%. I don't know. And yeah, Pentheselia is going to get double on this one. She's going to get double on the last one. But they're just not that strong. And this one doesn't even give, it's just doubling the chance of a fatal blow after her normal attacks. It's not making them stronger, So, there it is. There's her skills. I'm not excited. I hope I'm proved wrong, because I like archers. I enjoy using archers, and I have Hector. So, I'm rooting for her to be good, but I just don't feel it. I think her skills are too contingent. I think they're going to be unstable. I think she's going to be finicky. And at the end of the day, I don't want a hero that's kick-ass in 3 out of 4 battles and then falls on their face in 1 out of 4. I want dependability. I'd rather have somebody who's a little bit less kick-ass but more stable, and who I can count on and who I can depend on, and when I send them out there to do a job, I know they're going to do the job. And I just don't see that with her. So, that said, before we end this one, let's talk about potential pairing options with Pentheselia. I think the most obvious one, both in terms of they're both, of the Troy story, they're both archers, they're both killed by Achilles. I think it's certainly, she gets paired with Hector. So let's look at Hector real quick. So here, you can see fatal blow buffs happening with Hector here. So that plays directly into her and what her skills are trying to accomplish. Again, fatal blow, so reducing their fatal blow immunity. And again, physical damage. Okay, so there's no doubt in my mind, really, that Hector is meant to go with Pentheselia. So I think they're certainly meant to go together. I hope they're enough to make each other great, but I just don't see it happening. And, if they are, I'll chase her, I'll get her. I don't want Hector to be sitting on my bench. I want to be using him. But I don't think so. But beyond Hector, you're going to want to look to pair her with heroes, outside of the normal stuff. Like you want somebody who's good at defense and who knows how to heal. You're going to want to pair her with somebody who does big physical damage, somebody who gives buffs to physical attacks, somebody who gives buffs to, your fatal blow hits. Somebody, for example, like Warden is definitely a possibility. I think it's his last skill. Yeah, so he turns off his normal attacks, but gives additional normal attacks to the back row hero and buffs the normal attack. Each normal attack increases the damage of their next skill by 12%. So he gives more normal attacks and makes normal attacks more effective. So he's a candidate, for working with her alongside Hector. I think Ramses as well. I have one copy of him, but I'm probably done chasing him because they made it so ridiculously hard to get the one copy. I was so pissed off. I spent so many Royal exclusive tickets getting one copy. I think I spent 200. It's ridiculous. So they make it look like it's easier to get because it's only 4 copies, but they make it basically impossible to get him. So probably even more at the end of the day. But anyways, that's sorry for that tangent. As you can see, I'm bitter about some of this hero stuff. But this one again, physical attacks, normal attacks. So yeah, if you have Ramses, Ramses is a hero that potentially goes with her. So those are the types of she doesn't heal. I don't believe so. You're going to need some form of healing in whatever legion she's in. Her defense wasn't great, if memory serves. So somebody that can offer more defense in an archer formation than she can. Galahad's pretty good at defense. There's some others that potentially could work. But yeah, I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. But again, she would pair her with physical hero or physical damage heroes, normal attack heroes, ones that give more normal attacks, more normal attack potency is what you'd be looking for first and foremost, along with some healing and some defense. So Hector is the clear one, but beyond him, that's where it gets a little more. I think Ramses would be the other really natural one if you have Ramses. But again, I just don't see it as being a top tier archery legion. But who knows? Maybe we'll get proved wrong this next Eden, and she'll be the very best hero on the map, and Hector comes to life, and it just is crazy in that way. But I have my doubts. But anyways, I know a lot of you are curious about Pentheselia, about new heroes, so I wanted to get this one done, and we'll get it uploaded right away for everybody. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped you make your determinations on how you proceed with her and your Royal exclusive tickets. And as always, best wishes from all of us here at the GoodMoFos. Please do remember to like the video. Subscribing's most appreciated. All the shares you guys are doing on your Viber, on your Discord are awesome. So just really appreciate everyone's positive encouragement and you tuning in. And thanks so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.